उपज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and verse number 45. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेद निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वंद्वो नित्य सत्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेममात्मवान्. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Means understanding yourself to be different from this material body, understanding very well that you are a spirit soul. You do not belong to this material existence, so do not remain attached to material things or this material enjoyment. Give up this attachment and rise above these dualities and anxieties for gain and safety. And if the religious rituals or religious activities mentioned in the Vedic literatures, the Vedic literature also recommends uh, these attachments for material things. So Arjuna, you must reject those things also. This is the meaning. So that is the meaning of developing the desire only for Krishna. Only for Krishna. One thing is, sometimes somebody may think that, yeah, I want Krishna. I don't want anything. But it's not just simply saying. It's not just for the sake of saying it. It should not be just a lip service. But one's consciousness must reflect from the attitude or activities he performs in this matter. One may have attachment for something in this material world. One may have attraction for material sense enjoyment. But the symptom of a person who wants to become transcendental to these material enjoyment, material attachments, or symptom of a person who really wants to get rid of all attachments and who really wants to develop complete attachment for Krishna is that he will be completely willing to give up all those things, all those activities, and all those attachments, even if uh, it is recommended in Vedic literatures, even if it appears to be very pleasurable, even if it is supported by moral principles of this material existence, but the person will be very much willing to give it up completely, with no desire to pursue it within his heart. And that is the meaning of becoming transcendental and establishing oneself in the self, transcendental self, uh, established in the self. Because the self has nothing to do with this material world. The self is completely uh, transcendental or beyond this objects of material world or the enjoyment which one gets in this material world. Self is completely different. Self has the spirit, the super soul, or the self, our own self, or the living entity. has a connection only with the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, in this way, Krishna is telling in this verse, Tragunya Vishya Nistragunya Bhavarjana. You become, you overcome this attachment for material modes of nature. Niryoga Kshemam, without idea, yoga and Kshema, these two things are there. Yoga means to get some benefit, and Kshema, protection, so free from gain and protection. Nitya Sattva is the Nitya Sattva is the pure state of spiritual existence once established. So we discussed about this verse in last 2 days. We'll read the purport and discuss more about it. So all material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. That is the purpose of Vedic literature, to raise, to gradually elevate general public. General public means people who are attached for material sense gratification. In general, in the scriptures, this Janasangha has been forbidden, that one should not associate with general public, because in general, people are foolish or ignorant about spiritual subject matter, real goal of life. In general, people are only attached for sense gratification in various ways, either gross sense gratification or subtle sense gratification in terms of family life and this emotional bondage with things of this material world. So such people are by nature very sensual either because of agitated senses or sensual because of either agitated mind. So the association of such people must be neglected, must not be done. Those who are desiring to advance in Krishna consciousness, because the association of such sensual people may contaminate the heart of a spiritual practitioner. So that's why. But in order to uplift the consciousness of general people, also, the Vedic literatures mostly deal with such activities, religious activities, which are known as fruitive activities, so that gradually they may also evolve their consciousness and become free from the field of sense gratification and come to the position of transcendental plane. So, because most of the population fall in the category of sense enjoyer, that's why in Vedic literature, most of the recommended rituals or religious functions are for them to elevate them. But in the most important or Christ jewel, the nectarian or purest form of knowledge in the Vedic literature are mentioned in Bhagavat Marg, Shrimad Bhagavatam, which deals purely with the subject matter of developing full attachment and love only for Krishna and nothing else. That's why in the Bhagavatam it is mentioned, Dharma Projita Kaitava Atra. Kaitav Dharma, all cheating kinds of religious functions, religious concepts have been completely eradicated from the transcendental literature Srimad Bhagavatam. No more discussion, no more this inspiration for uh, material attachment or material sense gratification, whether through pious activity or impious activity, has been recommended in Bhagavatam. No more recommendation. Only for the purpose of completely uh, elevating the pupil person in transcendental plane has been discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. Uh, so, in this material world, all the living entities are struggling very hard with their mind and senses in order to fulfill the desires of mind and satisfy the senses. All the living entities are working very hard day and night. Mamaimamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. Lord Krishna explains this in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that this is the endeavor of all the living entities, that they want to fulfill their desires for material attachment. And in this way, they remain entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So, in order to free them from the cycle of birth and death, the Supreme Lord has given Vedic literatures. And the final culmination of Vedic knowledge is in Vedanta philosophy, where the knowledge begins with Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So the purpose of Vedanta philosophy, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and this Vedanta philosophy finally culminates into Bhagavad Dharma, or pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. That is the culmination or the mature fruit of Vedanta philosophy, or you can say the final result, conclusion, or essence of all the knowledge is to develop complete love and attachment for the Supreme Lord, giving up all other material attachments. So, Vedic wisdom has been given for this purpose. But gradually, when a living entity comes to understand Vedanta philosophy, so that first beginning stage is called Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa means to understand I am not this body. That is Brahma Jigyasa. To understand that I am a spirit soul. From there, the actual spiritual life begins. As long as one is still means engrossed with the idea that I can be happy or satisfied by fulfilling my material desires or by trying to satisfy my senses. Till that time, he is no better than an animal. Actual human birth starts when one actually tries to understand that he is not this material body. From that point, this human life starts, and that is the beginning of Brahma Jigyasa. That's why Vedanta Sutra, the first aphorism, is known as Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now, if you have got this human form of life, please inquire about the Brahman. Do not remain attached for material things. Give it up, or at least develop the desire to become free from material attachments. Do not enjoy keeping material attachment, material desires within your heart. If you do so, then you are no better than an animal. If you really want to become a human being, if you want to be known as human being, then you must understand your precarious condition in this material existence. You must understand how much we are harassed by desires for material sense gratification, because of which birth after birth we have to remain entangled in this material existence. Only because of maintaining the attachment for material sense enjoyment, a living entity is forced to take birth again and again, again and again, with no means chance of getting liberated. This is infinite loop. Infinite loop. The cycle is continuing. But as soon as a living entity just wills or desires that I want to get rid of this, both kind of material attachments, pious or impious, both, then he starts contemplating. He starts this Brahma Jigyasa, and then he cultivates how to raise myself on the platform of Brahman, means his spiritual life. And when he actually reaches to the platform of Brahman, or spiritual platform, then he can start developing attachment and love for Krishna. So until unless one uh, desires or wills to get rid of material attachments, practically it's not possible for the person to develop a full love or attachment or actual love and attachment for Krishna. That's not possible. It's very difficult because one has to leave some, suppose a small child, he's already having something on his hand to eat. So if another person comes and he wants to give something more, something better than that, but if the child is too attached to that eatables which are on his hand, so how can he hold? He has to give it up. Then only he can receive the better one. Just like when a Brahmin, uh, he he was a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, and in very sattvic form, he worshipped Lord Shiva without any demand for material things. Although he had material desires, material attachments, but for material things, but he did not worship Lord Shiva to get material things. So only this is not just the qualification that I do not ask material benefit or uh, or I want to develop a spiritual consciousness. This is not the only uh, thing which we should have. But the important point is that there must simultaneously be these two desires within the heart. One is that I must get rid of material attachments, and second is I must develop some or other full attachment for Krishna. And out of these two, in the beginning stage, the first one is more important or most important because without first one cannot actually have true desire for Krishna. That's why this the detachment principle of detachment is very much required. So that Brahmin, he worshipped Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared and he asked, "What do you want?" So because he was a Brahmin, situated in mode of goodness, so he had the intelligence. So he did not ask any material benefit, but he asked that, "My dear Lord Shiva, I am a small, means I have a small intelligence. If I ask something, it may not be up to the mark. Uh, but if because you are a great personality, so whatever best you think for me, you give me." Uh, So Lord Shiva said, "Okay, all right. So you go to Vrindavan. There you will find one Babaji, Sanatan Goswami. So he has that most precious jewel, which he will give you. You just tell him that I have told. So that most precious jewel, if you get, so all your desires will be fulfilled." So that Brahmin, he became very happy, and immediately he went to Vrindavan and asked people, who is this Sanatan Goswami Babaji? And Sanatan Goswami was very famous in Braja. He was known as Babaji. Babaji means great elder personality who has affection for all the Brajavasis. And all the Brajavasis, they considered Sanatan Goswami as their mother and father. And for all their help, support, guidance, needs, they approached Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami very mercifully, very lovingly, affectionately, he gave all the help, even material help also. So they considered him Babaji. So she came to know that this Babaji is living, he has no fixed place. He lives underneath a tree, and every night he changes his place of residence. So, but the symptom of such a Babaji is that he always chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he's always engaged in reading or writing some scriptures. So he came to know, and he came. So then he asked that Lord Shiva has told me to get some precious jewel from you. Kindly give it to me. So then Sanatan Goswami said, "Okay, there you will find one dustbin. In that dustbin, there is most precious jewel. You can get it. Paras money is there. Touchstone. Touchstone is a stone. If you touch that stone with an iron, so the iron will get converted into gold. Uh, so so he got it and he became very happy. He checked it. Yes, it can convert iron into gold. He became very happy. And he paid Dandvat Pranam and said, "Thank you very much, Babaji. Thank you very much. You are really very nice, very merciful, real well wisher of me. Thank you." He then went away, thinking that I got the most precious jewel. But on the way, because he was a Brahman, situated in mode of goodness, so immediately he could guess, "Oh, I think I am cheated. Just see, this Babaji has cheated me, I think." It's not that only cheaters of this material world can cheat. Even pure devotee can also cheat us. The Supreme Lord can also cheat us. If we do not have real desire to get Krishna, so pure devotees and the Supreme Lord, they are not interested to talk much with us. They are not interested to associate much because they understand that this fellow is not very much inclined for Krishna only. He still has some other desires to fulfill. So let him fulfill his material desires. Why to unnecessarily disturb? So in this way, sometimes a pure devotee may give material blessings also. Okay, you take this and go away. Just leave me. And the nature of Lord Shiva is also like this. When somebody, materialistic people, they worship Lord Shiva and approach him, worship him. So Lord Shiva cheats them. No, but not with the intention to cheat them, but actually he cheats them. Or rather, we can say those materialistic worshippers of Lord Shiva, they get cheated by their own material attachments because they are unable to give up their material attachments. So Lord Shiva provides them. Okay, you take it and just go away. Don't disturb me. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Why you want to disturb my time? Don't waste my time. You want this? You just go away and take enjoy material attachments. No problem. I'm okay with that. And let me chant Hare Krishna. But if somebody is very desirous to get Krishna prem only, so such persons who have sincerity, so Lord Shiva may come on their way without even inviting and guide them, just like to Prachetas he did. Prachetas did not means call Lord Shiva to get the spiritual guidance or guidance for devotional service to Krishna, but Lord Shiva himself came. Similarly, a pure devotee, uh, she can come on our own way immediately. Uh, with the inspiration of the Supreme Lord, they may come on our way and enlighten us in the matter of spiritual consciousness. But if somebody is not interested uh, if somebody is only attracted towards material sense enjoyment, even after knowing very well that it leads to miserable situation, so they may just neglect these kind of people, and that there is no fault in that. So, but this particular Brahmin, because he was situated in mode of goodness, so when he went, he was contemplating if this touchstone, Parasmani, is the most valuable jewel. So why would Sanatan Goswami keep it in the dustbin? That means he has something else more precious than this, which he has not given to me. But why he did not give me? Then he understood. He was just guessing why he did not give me. But why Sanatan Goswami did not give him the most precious jewel, that is Krishna Prem? Why? Because Sanatan Goswami could understand what the motivation of this person is. So he did not try to preach him. He did not made him sit down. I will tell you, you give up material attachment. This is nonsense. This is miserable. No, because that is not going to work actually. If somebody who is not willing to give up material attachment, material desires, attraction for sense enjoyment, to such a person, the philosophical discussion or lecture is that does not work. Uh, So that's why I was also in great illusion earlier that okay, let me convince people that oh, this material attachment, desire for sense gratification, you should be at least willing to give it up because it is not going to help you to get Supreme Lord Krishna. But later on, I understood it doesn't matter how much you speak, how much you guide. You may give hours and hours of lectures, but if somebody is unwilling to get rid of attachment for material thing, material people, desires for sense gratification, the instructions of pure devotional service do not penetrate their heart. So it becomes just like a waste of time. Better to give them some time. They may come to this conclusion later on, and they may, when they are prepared to get rid of, willing to give up all material attachments, then they may be given proper association and guidance and help, so that how they can develop full attachment for Krishna. And the Sanatana Goswami in the beginning, first when he came, this Brahmin, he did not try to preach him. But because he was a Brahmin, he was situated in mode of goodness, so he could understand this. He came back and asked, "My dear Sanatan Goswami, why you gave me this touchstone, but why did you keep this in the dustbin? Does this mean that you have something better than this?" Sanatan Goswami said, "Yes, I have. So would you kindly give it to me?" So Sanatan Goswami said, "Yes, definitely I can give you, I will give you. But before that, first of all, you have to give up the attachment for this Paraspatra, this touchstone. First you give it up, then I will give, because otherwise it won't work." So the Brahmin, he became very perplexed, confused, because he was very attached to having that touchstone, because it can produce gold. So many, it was so precious for him. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you tell somebody, some devotee, that you give up this attachment. They think, no, how can I give it up? This is so precious for me. Huh? As soon as I get up early in the morning, I start the day thinking about this attachment. It is so precious for me. And you are telling to give it up? No, Baba, I cannot give up. Okay, then you enjoy your attachment. So, but this Brahmin, although he became little perplexed and little disturbed, uh, maybe tears glided down from his eyes with the thought of giving up that touchstone. Uh, but because he has full faith in the words of Sanatan Goswami, because Sanatan Goswami was such an exalted devotee. So this is one very important thing. The conditioned soul can only develop the desire to give up all material attachments if they meet some very exalted devotee. That's why association of pure devotees have been recommended. Uh, if we are associating with somebody for a long time, but still we are unable to give up material attachments, so that means we need to change the association. We need to choose, we need to select somebody who is actually situated in pure user platform. Because if you come in contact with a very exalted devotee, so by his instructions, you can develop full faith in his words. And with that faith, you will be able to immediately give up. You will be able to develop immediate desire to give up material attachment, and then you can become qualified to actually this get the most valuable jewel of Krishna consciousness. So this Brahmin, and that same thing happened with that Mrigari hunter. When Narad Muni, he met Narad Muni, and on the instruction of Narad Muni, immediately told, "Yes, I can tell you, I can give you the best method to become free from all material entanglement, but for that you need to break your bows and arrows and throw it in the river. Are you willing? Are you ready?" So Brigari also, for the time being, he became perplexed. He said, "Oh, my dear Sri Narad Muni, what are you talking? This is the only way I can earn something and I can maintain myself and my family. If I break it, huh, then what will happen to me and my family? How will we survive?" Similarly, this it happens when a devotee is told that you give up this attachment for these things. They think that if I give up this thing, these things also, these attachments also, so I'll be bored. I will become alone. How will I survive in this material world? Huh? But one has to have faith in the words of devotees. So Narad Muni, but that Mrigari also got full faith in the words, instructions of Narad Muni. So he immediately broke the bows and arrows and threw it and followed his instructions. Similarly, this Brahmin also, even though he was very much perplexed, but still he put all faith, because Lord Shiva has already told that this Sanatan Goswami is a great devotee, and he had also realized by talking to him and by getting instruction, by seeing him, one can. So one can realize these things. If you really meet a very exalted devotee, so simply by seeing him, simply by associating with for even for short time, by hearing from him, you can develop faith immediately, and then you will be willing to follow it. I have personal example, means experience of this. As soon as I met my Guru Maharaj, for the first time, I became fully convinced, no doubt about it, that he is the personality who is fully pure hearted and fully devoted and dedicated for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And immediately I got the desire that I also want to become like him. I also want to dedicate my life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I do not wish to means give my life to anybody else than Srila Prabhupada and Supreme Lord. That is the effect of associating with a Mahatma, a pure devotee. So this Brahmin, then he threw that Paras money. And then Sanatan Goswami said, "Oh, very nice, good boy. Now I initiate you. Take this mala and chant Hare Krishna, sit along with me." And then he instructed him, gave all his association, and instructed him in the science of devotional service, and gave the mala and for chanting Hare Krishna. Then he started chanting Hare Krishna and actually got the complete love for Krishna. So that is the method. So one must be willing to first give up the attachment for material things. Then one can expect to advance completely in devotional service. And that's why in this particular verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna that Arjuna, you give up. Nishtray gunya bhava Arjuna. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is the part of fifth Veda, namely Mahabharata. The Upanishad marks the beginning of transcendental life. Oh, so okay. I think we have finished this. Tomorrow we'll discuss verse number 46. I think time is up. We have only 1 minute. Hare Krishna. So those of you, if you have any questions, so next class is there for ISKCON River devotees. You can come in that channel, that link. So we'll first 5 to 10 minutes, we'll take question and answer from today's discussion. Hare Krishna.